Yeah, after some good gap of time, we have joined this Aruna Prashna class or section, studying all information or getting all information regarding Paramatma, Surya Bhagavan. And moreover, people say that Jyeshta Suddha Panchami happens to fall on Sunday, Bhanuvaram, is an important day for Surya Aradhana. So in almost all the temples, you find special Abhishekam and Puja and prayers to Surya Bhagavan that will make him more and more happier. And so he will be stronger and he will bless us. So before we go to this particular section, Indra Ghosha, as a part of introduction, we observe that Visarpina Upadishyasthane Sutira Sabhani Om Bhurbhavasvaha Dishovo Mithunam Mano Rithanagum Redham. We are just given the direction that the Surya Bhagavan is with different Agnis. He is the Dishovo Mithunam Mano Mithunagum Redham. Idu Mithuna Purva Asirvada. Yeah, just correct. Upadisha, though we have got these names of respective names of Agni. With those names, Paramatma is Surya Bhagavan is shining forth in all the quarters. And the names of the Agni also are given in this particular passage, which we covered earlier. That is, in the east, Agni, in the Agneya Jata Vedas, in south, Sahoja, Nairuti, Ajira Prabhu, west, Vaishwanara, and Vayavya Naryapasa, north, Pantiradhasa, and Ishanya Visarpi. So Surya Bhagavan, with these names, he is shining forth with his own brilliance. It is in all directions. Therefore, Surya has got that power as to divide himself and see that all the quarters are being illuminated by him. And moreover, there is a prayer, Dishovo Mithunam Mano Mithunagum Ridhvam. That is, may you not break the friendship and amity between the Dampatis. Here, whoever are making prayer and whatever associateship that they have got with the closest people, they should continue to be like that. So then, in the next Anuvaka, we have noted that the number of narakas are there. See, that also is important because a prayer is made that Bhagavan Aditya must bless the devotees, that one would have a bypass from Narakaloka because he is the only one fellow. And Isa Vasya Upanishad tells you now. So we have been introduced to the concept of the Naraka Loka. Because when Surya Bhagavan is there, it is a bright, prosperous, happy time. And if it is not that, a dark areas. So there are, say, Narakaha. See, Dakshina Purvasyam Narakaha, Dakshina Parasyam Narakaha, Uttara Purvasyam Disi Vishadi Narakaha, Uttara Parasyam Disya Vishadi Narakaha, and Ayasmin Saptavasavaha Indriyani Satakrata Vityete. So you observe that the Naraka is by name Visarpi Nagara. Sarpi means crawling, stretching, and that Visarpi Naraka is there. And we want protection from that. So in Nirruti subquarters, We have got Avisarpi and all these things we have covered, Vishadi. But anyway, Narakam is taken to be a Vishadi. It will be really suffering. Much is there. And now, what about the Narakam? We should have an idea. Probably we have forgotten the knowledge that is given to us. Actually, we have got the names of Narakas mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Because when you go to Puranas, they are able to give you details about all that. Therefore, there are 28 Narakas. And these Narakas are also alternatively called as Abhumayaha. Bhumi means worthy to be inhabit, to live on. Abhumayaha means not at all tenable for enjoyment or living in that. So that's why they are not fit for inhabitation. Secondly, the Narakas are also called as in Isavasya Upanishad, Asuryanamate lokaha andhena tamasavrutaha. So there we get the concept that they are all the places where sun does not rise. When there is no sun, you can imagine the torture that people could act it. Therefore, torture, difficulty, darkness, we cannot be happy in the darkness. Therefore, they are called Asurya, where Surya does not glow, does not be there. And moreover, what is that? All the entire Bhumi of Narakam is pervaded by the darkness, and it is enveloped by darkness. Therefore, these Narakas happen to be the regions of the Mrityu Devata. See, Mrityu Devata is Yama, and Yama is the guardian of that, and he is a god of retribution. And moreover, who goes to that Narakaloka is also a good question. And the answer could be that Adharmavartinaha ye janaha bhuloke sthitaha bhavanti te adharmikaha papinaha aparadha sahasraihi yutaha te sarve narakam prayachanti. That is, those people who violate dharma and they are almost highly forbidden places. That's why they are called Desa Visheshaha. So Desa Vishesha, so there are all the areas where there is lot difference of the land that we actually go through. And therefore, the only way that we can get it is we have to appease Bhagavan. And again, the Vedas talk about the lokas. Other than Swarga Lokam, other than all positive lokas, there are also many other lokas. So the Lokanam Annapudu, ఎన్నెన్ని లోకాలు ఉన్నాయో మనకు తెలియదు. But anyway, we are given the idea that Sapta ime lokaha. They say ime lokaha sapta. But probably countable lokas are 7. And another idea is that there are 7 lokas above and 7 lokas below. And therefore, there are 14 lokas and all that. In fact, we have got a beautiful monograph written by a great professor of Sanskrit by name Honta. He was a Utrecht University professor long back, and of the Holland, of the Holland seat country, and he tries to describe how many lokas are there and all those things. Really good book. And therefore, we make a prayer, Tasman Naha Paripahi, Tasman Nah Paripahi. We, oh Paramatma, please don't allow us to get into those Abhumaya, apunya lokaha, and also tamasavruta lokaha and all that. That's why we always, whenever we take food, we have to keep some food next to your plate. After everything is served on your plate for your consumption, dinner, for your lunch, especially one time. You're supposed to eat only one time. There, after you complete your Chitra, Chitragupta, Yama, and Sarvabhutadipati for them, before you start your food taking, you will just deposit a small amount of them, taking their name. Chitra is the case worker, Chitragupta, the office superintendent, and Yama, the boss, and Sarvabhutadipati is Mahavishnu, Rudra. So these four people we have got to remember. It's interesting. And ಊಟ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ನೀರು drop of water you should take and throw it down after completing, because they're all waiting. The sloka tells you ravarave apunya nilaye padma arbuda nivasinam arthinam udakam dattam akshayam upatishtatu. This everybody must tell. Ravarave apunya nilayes, they're all called narakas, apunya narakas, and beginning from Rava. Rava is the one, Ravarave apunya nilaye. And how many are the number of lokas, naraka lokas? That is Padma or Buddha. Padma and Arbuda are the highest integers. That is, you can add more number of zeros after one. So that's what Padma and Arbuda, Samudra. So these are all the highest integers introduced to us by Vedic mathematics or numerology. I'm sorry, number theory. And where you know how many Swargas are there, so many Narakas are also there. And like that, for example, in the world, how many countries are there? Some people say 202 countries are there. And so you can imagine small, biggest, like that. So, like that, here also we have got a number of Narakas. And all are Nirruti Devata is the guardian, Yama is the guardian. And again, there is one assistant for Yama and Nirruti and all people. He is called as Surya Bhagavan has been in one of the Suryas was offered to by the Kashyap Prajapati to Yama. He is called as, what is that name? Anyway, he is assisting that Yama operations at all. So Tasman Paripahi. So when he were to say, he will be able to give you all light, dispel darkness, and providing enough intelligence. If intelligence is well organized, then one can maintain dharma and avoid difficulty. That's exactly what we always make japam. Diyo yo na prachodayat. So, nama buddhi chennai direct agbeku. Because we are not using our intelligence appropriately, rightfully, but we are misusing, abusing, and therefore we are suffering. Here, the Gayatri mantra of Rigveda, 3rd mandala, 62nd sutta, 10th mantra, 10th sloka mantra, last line always tells Dhiyaha, Naha, Yaha, Suryaha, and Varenyam Bhargaha Prachodayat. That we have already spoken about it. So after that, then we enter. This is what we have covered about the fear. So we cannot always talk about the positivity. There is a lot of negativity. Actually, if there are 100 people in the society, there will be 55 people who are bad, only 45 people who are good. And that is normal ratio, which we have been seeing. Let us not think that all those people who congratulate her are our friends. So that's what they say. It's only a make-believe happiness. And behind that, there will be a lot of ire and anger and jealous subsisting many more people in the world. Therefore, in Aruna Prashna, Prashna is an investigation. Prashna is a questioning. So who is this Varuna? And of course, we have got Surya, Aditya, and Bhanu, Khaga, Pusha, Hiranyagarbha, Savita, Arka, Marichi. So many are there. But of all that, the Aruna is not kept up in the list. I say Bhanu. So Aruna is exclusively a different status of Paramatma just at the time of rising. Ujjannadya Mitramaha. So Ahaha Mitram is coming up. He is called Aruna. So Aruna Deva is the Mitra that is just coming up to all people. But whether you take that Surya Bhagavan as our Mitra, as our friend, you are done. Otherwise, you are done, otherwise done for. Therefore, we are given the clue that we should be praying to Surya Bhagavan, who is a Parabrahma par excellence, who can give you light, luster, health, wealth, prosperity, and appropriate ending for the body. Because you cannot keep the body long enough. And with all this kind of talk about the hell or Narakam and Asurya Loka and Tamasavrata Loka and so on, now let us go to the exact text which is there on the Vimsa Anavaka, and that is called, now let us read it. Om Indra Ghosha Vo Vasubhi. Read. Here on we'll see Indra Ghosha Vo Vasubhi Purastadupadadhatam Manojavaso Vaha Pitrubihi Dakshinata Upadadhatam Prachetavo Rudrai Paschadupadadhatam Vishwakarma Adityayiruttarata Upadadhatam Tvashtavo Rupai Parishtadupadadhatam Sangnanam Vappaschaditi Sangnanam Vappaschaditi. Up till then, let us note it. See, we are getting the idea. Upadadatam. See, upadadatam means the sustainer serve you, and we have got number of. So ultimately, what is that? Sangnanam vappaschaditi. That is, the truthful knowledge would always stay with them as a support. Knowledge would be a strong backdrop on that. So chadavandi, chapandi, Indra Ghosha O Vasubhi Purastad.
Indra Ghosha Vo Vasubhi Purastad Upadatatham Mano Javaso Vaha Pitrubihir Dakshinata Upadatatham Prachota Vo Rudraihi Paschad Upadatatham Vishwakarma Va Aditya Ruttarata Upadatatham Svasthavo Rupai Uparistad Upadatatham Sangnyanam Vapaschaditi.
Aditya Sarvogni Pruthivyam.
Aditya Sarvognihi Pruthivyam Vayurantarikshe Suryo Divi Chandrama Dikshu Nakshatrani Swaloke Evahyaiva Evahyagne Evahi Vayo Evahi Indra Evahi Pushan Evahi Devaha.
This is a beautiful passage, 20th, where you get that all people, there are, the Jaladevatas are there. And these Jaladevatas are present in all directions. So, no, and every god associated with the other god, they must be able to sustain, support the Paramatma. For example, Indra Ghosha Vaha Vasubhi Purastat Upadadhatam. So at the eastern quarter, Indra and Ghosha joined with the Vasus protect you. Upadadhatam. Dadhati, upadadhati means closely come and give you support. Secondly, Mano Javaso Vaha Pitrubihi Dakshinata Upadadhatam. Next, we have on the southern side, there are Manojava Devataha, and together with the Pitru Devatas, they should render service to Surya Bhagavan. The third one is Prachetavo Rudraihi Paschadupadatam. The Pracheta is Varuna Devata. That Varuna, together with the Rudras, extend service and support to you. And at the next direction, Pratan Vishwakarmava Adityayiruttarata Upadatam. So Vishwakarma, together with the group of Adityas, render service to you in the northern direction. And again, at the Uparishtat, at the above region, the deity Twastu Devata, Brahma, together with the deities known for different forms, render service to you. So that's why here you have got Vishwakarma, Adityaha, Uttarata, Upadadatam. Tvashta Vaharupaihi Uparishtadudatam. So until then, all these gods have been. So Varuna, you have got Indra, Ghosha also is a deity. In our Vedic system, we have an interesting mythology that anything that you take into picture or in the sacrificial context, that will be of great importance. So here we have got Indra and Ghosha. And Ghosha is the high sound, high pitch sound, and that kind of dosha will be removed by him. And therefore, that Pushan and Varuna, they are all very, very powerful gods. And so, Indra Ghosha, then Manojava is also another variety of gods. You know, among gods also, there are varieties and qualified and classified gods. All, of course, God is a common name, but they have different names according as the Lakshanam. That's why Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Chaturvarnyam maya srushtam guna karma vibhagashaha. So what is the classification? Guna and karma, these two are marked in order to make a classification. It's interesting, is it not? So you must have some kind of norm when you divide your people, when you divide a single unit. And another example we can see in Ramayanam, when all gods and Brahma and Ishvara went and asked, Ravana Badha has become maximum. We can no more tolerate him or his badhas in the world. So kindly interfere and do something. Then Vishnu told, Narayana told, okay, I am the source of solutions to all. So I divide myself into 4 parts. That is Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. So all this Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna is Vishnu only, who got divided. But there is a guna and karma is distinguishing among them. And Rama is born because the 50% of the payasam was given to, 50% of payasam was given to Kausalya. The remaining portion of the payasam, distributed to other 2 wives by Dasaratha. It had all happened. So accordingly, the Rama born, Vishnu born the first son, he had all that dharmic, etc., etc. And even other 3 brothers also had. That's why in Ramayana we have got very good brothers, 4 brothers. And similarly, whenever a need is there, according as the guna, the karma is being chosen, and birth and division and the activity does go like that. So here in this passage, you see we have got Manojava gods are there. And Pitru Devatas are also there. Because when once people hold body and do some lot of good work, dharmic paripalana, they become eligible to turn into the group of Pitrus. So that's why the Pitrus have got a separate lokam by themselves. Pitru Loka. That's why we say Saswata Pitru Lokam, and all the Pitru Lokas, all the Pitrus in the Pitru Loka, they will be ultimately liberated into the Brahmaloka and further. So there is that kind of hierarchy, administration, and changes. That's why we should, I think, know, Govindagaru, that activity is not only upon the earth. In the entire universe, whatever be the loka, whatever be the region, whatever be the sub-region, all people are at work. And what kind of work it is, that depends upon the individuals and groups of people. So that's why we are always advised that you should do something that is really rewarding. Dharmic jivana is supposed to be recommended by all people. Because that's why, for example, Rama stood as an example. Dharmatma, Satyasandhascha, etc. So he remained a Dharmatma. And because looking at Rama, all people are tempted to be Dharmatmas. Therefore, Dharma is important. And, we have got Dhanojavaha Pitruvihi. And Pracheta is Varuna. Varuna, he is an important god. He is the king of waters. And he is the guardian of waters. And he is the provider of night time for us. If Mitra is day god, and Varuna is the night god. So that's why Mitra and Varuna both are important. Therefore, here, Prachetaha Varuna, together with the Rudraihi. You don't know how many Rudras are there. In our Namakam, we are given the idea that you cannot have the count of Rudras. Their number is large. And they get again divided in at all places. They are there upon the land, in the Antariksha Loka, in Juloka, and everywhere. Wherever Lokas are there, Rudras are there. That's why. And next we have got Pracheta Rudraihi. Then Vishwakarma Adityaihi Adityaha Uttaradapa. Vishwakarma is again a Paramatma. He is a divine architect. He is an engineer par excellence. So Maya is Rakshasa's architect, and Vishwakarma is divine. So Vishwakarma will be building places for us. Therefore, Vishwakarma is again Surya Bhagavan. And so Surya Bhagavan has got all that. That's why we always say, Om Namo Narayanaya and Om Namo Surya Narayanaya. And so like that here, Vishwakarma, Adityaihi means there are 12 Adityas. That is, why 12 Adityas? Each Aditya has got individualized specializations and duties to performed. And that is that. So supposing some people, when they perform Aruna Parayanam, before that, they fix up 12 kalashas. And there will be 12 Brahmins sitting before each kalasha and worshipping the kalasha Where is it? Mitra Kalasa, Ravi Kalasa, like that. And all that afterwards, and they will start the Parayanam and all that. So Vishwakarma, the universal architect. Vishwa karma karoti Vishwartham. Yaha saha Vishwakarma. He who works for the universal good. He works for all people available in the all regions of the world or Vishwam. And so he is called Vishwakarma, again Narayana only, Aditya Uttarata. And Twashta Rupaihi Aparishtat. Twashta is a Prajapati. And among 12 Prajapatis in the department of Prajapati, cosmic department of Prajapati, Prajapati is the head of the department, whereas Twashta, Daksha, Pracheta, all some Pracheta, etc., they're all also faculties in the department of creation of the universe. Therefore, Twashta, what is his specialization, expertise? To create, to give forms to the beings. Rupa is the beauty. So the beauty of the individual, the handsomeness of the individual depends upon the anugraha of the Twashta Devata. And see, that's why Uparishtat Upadadatam and Rupaihi, Rupatva is important also. And another incidental thing I want to tell you that we have got Pushan Devata also. We have been familiar with it. And what is the advantage when we worship Pusha Devata? So Stina Pusha, we are going to get the mention of Pushan in the next Anuvaka. There again, I will tell you more about that Pushan. Because when we are reciting the Aruna Prashna, it is good when we come to know what is what, who is who, and what they can do for us, what they can teach us, how best we can make our life on this earth a rewarding one, not being exposed to those abhumayaha or tamasavruta abhumayaha or asurya lokaha, etc. We don't want to get on to those things. Tasman na paripahi, tasman na paripahi. So I just want to add what Bhagavatam tells you regarding the Pusha Devata here. They're all medicinal doctors, medical doctors, and they take care of the human healthcare or animal health care. So one example, one sloka is there talking about the power of the Pushan Devata connected to the people in the world. Tvachidoshaha, Drusidoshaha, Hrudidoshaha, Ye Khirendriya Jadoshaha, Tan Pusha, Hatadoshaha, Kinchid Roshadnina Dahatu. Is a beautiful prayer. Again I repeat, Tvachidosha, Drusidosha, Hrudidoshaha, Akhilendriya Dosha, Akhilendriya Jadoshaha, Tan Pusha, Hatadoshaha, Kinchit Roshadnina Dahatu. Now I just give you the idea that what Tvachidosha, if you have got skin problems, and Drusipradosha, if you have eye problems, and Hrudidosha, if your heart and lungs problem, these are all specifically mentioned because we are always worried about the tvak, looks, eye and heart and lungs. Apart from these three primary parts of our body, which will be detrimental for human health, human. So then, Akhilendriya Jadoshaha. So there are many more indriyas in our body. All those indriyas are also subjected to change, subjected to disease. If if all indriyas are at ease, we are at ease. But if indriyas were to have some infection or some problem, even them, that Pushan Devata is able to silence them. Similarly, so he will make them Hatha Dosha. Dosha is infection. Dosha is a disease. Dosha is a problem. So all that, and how does he do it? Rosha Agninadahutu. See, Pushan Devata has got fire, unique fire. That fire is called as Rosha Agni. With Rosha Agni, he is going to put down all that. And again, the last sentence in this particular paragraph here, Sangnanam Vaha Paschaditi. See, Sangnanam, Gnanam, Pragnanam, Sangnanam. In Yajurveda, we have got many qualified knowledge regarding the truthful knowledge. And because knowledge, gnana, is very important. As you know, Krishna has told in that, Nahi gnanena sadrusam pavitram iha vidyate. In this world, there is no higher sanctified thing than knowledge. So that's why Krishna has taken a long cue to describe in 17, as I described, 17 yogas, just when Arjuna started crying, Vishada Yoga. Only one chapter, Vishada Yoga, and real supplements, real supporting yogas to get rid of the Vishada are 17 in number. Very interesting, 1 plus 7. So there, he says about Gnanam. And again, he also tells in the same place, Gnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. Oh, Arjuna, Gnana is Agni. Rosha is Agni. And Agni is something which we cannot at all defeat. No, Agni is indefeatable, unassailable. And that kind of immense power is Agni. Therefore, that kind of gnanam, knowledge is one that. But sangnanam is samyak gnanam. That tells you samyak, sutaram, sushtu, gnanam, sangnanam. That's exactly what we call as the adhyatma gnanam. Truthful knowledge, what is that? All knowledge that we are acquiring is only for belly, filling up. That's what Shankaracharya says, Udaranimittam bahukruta vesham bhaja govindam. He says, Jatilo mundi lunchida keshava kashayambara kandharadari. And then he says that Udaranimittam bahukruta vesham, all the vesha and gnanam, only to fill up your stomach. But most important knowledge is Sangnanam. And Krishna in Gita told us that Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. So I am Adhyatma Vidya, and if at all you want to be a scholar, you must only take hold of the Adhyatma Gnana. That is Atma Gnana. Adhi means with respect to Atma. Because there is a lot of philosophical discussion in Vedanta regarding the Atma. And in that Aitareya Upanishad, which we are having every Friday, a class in the morning for about 1 hour, that is 8:30 to 9:30 in Chicago time, 7 o'clock in India time, evening, 7 p.m. We are trying to note so much work has been done by the Atma, beyond which Atma there is no other higher Atma, that is Ishvara. That Ishvara, having created the world, or at the conclusion of the Pralayam, when the entire universe is filled with water, and he was all alone at that time, he wanted to have a second. He wanted to have something created. So he created 4 worlds. After 4 worlds, he appointed 4 Lokapalas. And having made the governors for all the Lokas, then he created out of mud of that a man. And he created food out of water. So the sequence, it's all research-oriented text is the Aitareya Upanishad, because it belongs to Rigveda, the first earliest document, human document, that is what is called as Rigveda, and Aitareya Maharshi. And 2 meanings could be there for him. Itareya, Itara, and Aitareya. Coming at something special plus is the Maharshi. Anyway, here you should know Sangnanam. So Sangnanam means Vishesha Gnanam and Paramatma Gnanam, Vedanta Gnanam, and that Gnanam we have got to acquire. Sangnanam Paschat iti. So Paschat Sangnanam iti. Then it is that. So we can, there's a beautiful, beautiful quotation. It is not iti is, you please observe iti. Iti is a quotation drawn from earlier Vedic texts. The truthful knowledge would always stay with them as a support. See, all knowledge will disappear when once you retire. So all science people, when they don't have laboratory, they are useless. As long as laboratory and other material is available, you can conduct experiments, you can find out things, you can do all that. But when you retire, when you don't have laboratory facilities, what happens to your theory of thinking? No. That's why it is said, an ounce of practice is better than tons of theory. Therefore, Sangnanam is one knowledge connected to your own self. What happens to you when you leave the body is a big question. Kim bhavati mama? And what would happen to me? And no guarantee that you are born immediately after leaving the body. No, we don't know how long we have got a wait there. Because wait list also there in other loka when we go there, because before us hundreds of people have left the world. And therefore that's a big help. That's why even before we leave the body, I think we should be very careful to see that we do a lot of useful time, gainful time, and then spiritual time. Anyway, so here Sangnanam Vaha Paschat. Paschat means supporting will be the ultimate Adhyatma Gnanam. I remember one physics professor of Bengaluru University, Raghavendra Char, he took me into his house and showed his library. And he told Prabhakar, I removed all my physics books and all the thesis. Now I filled my shelves with the Vedic texts, Upanishad texts, Ramayana editions, Mahabharata editions, Durga Saptasati editions. He showed me a transformation of his bookshelf. I mean, that's a unique thing for me. I can quote because he was a seasoned professor, a musician also, etc. So that truthful knowledge is that which will definitely help us. Sangnanam Paschaditi. Then the Aruna Prashna rishis go, Aditya Sarvogne Prithivyam. What a statement it is. See, Agnihi, Sarvaha Agnihi Adityaha Prithivyam. Whatever heat energy you talk about, whatever radiant energy you talk about, whatever thermal power you talk about upon the earth, all that is Agni. So the Agni means what? Ignition. So that igniting or ignition is not there, nothing works. That's why your all engines, you require spark plug. A spark plug ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ spark ಬಂದ್ರೇನೆ engine start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. A spark plug dull ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ. Similarly, clouds are there. Simply clouds on the sky, no good. If there is a lightning in the cloud, if there is dark cloud, lightning, rumbling is there, then you get scared of the cloud, saying that, oh, it's going to rain too much, so I should be at shelter. Other than that, Agnihi, already we have been introduced how many Agni forms are. Surya is taking how many Agni forms. We have already known that 8 names of Agni we have listed out. And those 8 were Agni and more. And moreover, Prithiviyam Agnihi Sarvahanovaga. Actually, our Yajurveda tells you 3 kinds of main Agnis. One is Vaishwanar Agni, another is Kravyad Agni, Another is Amad Agni, as I understood, because I in my research, I was able to write a big chapter on Agni, talking about the Vedic mythology, Agni. And on Agni, I wrote my first chapter in my thesis. My guru, Dr. Devi Devastali, asked me to rewrite 3-4 times, adding more and more information and all that. So that way, Agni is the only one article. In Agni only is one article, which I repeatedly wrote for 3-4 times. Afterwards, he said, okay, go ahead. So like that, Agni Prithiviyam Sarvaha. This Agni upon the world is Agni. But what is this Agni? One is Ahavani Agni, sacred fire, which you employ in the Veda, into which you put your oblations or shares of food for the respective gods, whomever you want to feed the gods on the dining table. That is Yajna Vedi. That you put all that in the Yajna Vedi, and Paramatma Agni there, he will consume. Agnaye idam namama, Indraya idam namama. Like that you disclaim. And Chandraya idam namama. So when once you say namama, 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 not mine, done. Then the Agni accepts, and every ahuti is being drenched with the ghee, with a clarified butter, so the taste increases. And Agni will make the ahuti well cooked and delivers at the threshold of each god, because he knows the resistance of each and everybody. That's why, what is Gayatri? Agni is only Gayatri. That's why every day when we do Sandhya Vandanam, we say Devanam Dhamanamasi Vishwamasi Vishwayuhu Sarvamasi Sarvayuhu Abhibhuvaha Om. We repeat 3 times a day normally. So what do you mean that Vaishwana Agni turns the offering that you made into palatable, consumable, tasty way? And second one, is called Kravya Agni. Kravya means with which you prepare food for the deceased people. Shraddha ಕರ್ಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿತೃದೇವತೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣರಿಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪಿಂಡ ಇಡಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಪಿಂಡ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫುಡ್ prepared is with the fire. And again, if you want to use that fire for your again normal cooking, you have to purify. So Kravyad Agniಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾಮೂಲು ಅಗ್ನಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರಬೇಕು. So the transformation is possible when you make namaskar to Agni. You remember in olden days, my mother, my grandmother, or your mother and your grandmother, etc., when they were preparing food, especially rice, cooking, and make that cooked rice, then so they used to keep the rice in the pot full with water, and they remove some portion of the rice, just little, and put in the fire. Agni urita idre, Agni mele haki namaskara ಮಾಡಿ ಅಡಿಗೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. That Govind will remember all these things. So that was the practice in our Indian Hindu system. And ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. But all that has helped our ancients to maintain better health and also have less hospitals and less medical shops. Anyway, changes came, and so here, and the final one I told you, it is called as Amad Agni. Amad Agni burns flesh, burns corpses, burns the mutton, burns that. So he is called Amad Agni. That's why, things are all, if I tell all that, so veg and non-veg preparation in the same fire, if you do it, that is not at all tenable for religious people to accept. So that's why Brahmana Phalahara Mandira, even today in Bangalore, in 5th block, next to the post office, I see Brahmana Phalahara Mandira. So there is a Brahmin's restaurant. I don't know how much Brahminism is there, but earlier it was there like that Brahmana. You have all things. And tomorrow we are having a Mahabrahmana meat, Akhila Brahmana meat. Anyway, so these are the 3 kinds of important fires, and Sarvaha Agni Adityaha. Agni is a terrestrial god. He is available only upon the earth. Therefore, Sarvo Agnihi, Adityaha Sarvo Agnihi. And same, Vayuhu Sarvaha Antariksha. You please take that word Sarvaha in the Vayuhu Sarvaha, Chandrama Sarvaha, Nakshatrani Sarvaha. See the Sarva Sabda you please take to other lines of thought. Then you understand. Sarvaha Ayuhu Antarikshe, so Adityaha. So even whatever number of Vayus are there, you know, actually Vayus are 49 kinds of Vayus are there. Sapta, 49. All these Sapta Vayus will come into operative when once the pralayam has to take place. Until then, what Vayu we have got is just mild one to make people live, to make people make their own activity. Other than that, what is the residential quarters of this Vayu? The Antariksha Loka, the mid-region. The Antariksha, in between the heaven and earth, there is a lot of space. So the entire space has been occupied by, that's why Vayu is occupying so deeply all places that you cannot control him. And Manas also is like the wind. That's why Krishna in Bhagavad Gita was asked by Arjuna, hey, you have been telling control your mind, control your mind. How can I control? Arjuna will put a question. See, Vayori Vadushkaram Manye, how can I control my mind? As difficult as to control the air. If you close your eye, you are pissed, there is air inside. And that air is, if you release, air in the side. So there is air everywhere, outside, inside, everywhere. Paramatma, Vayudev. That's why we say Namaste Vayo, Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi, Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami. So look at those three lines in the Shanti Mantra, where Namaste Vayu, what more we could do? So Namaste Vayu on the Helaga, you are making Namaskara for Surya Bhagavan. In the Surya Atharva Sirsha Upanishad also, you see the mention of Vayudeva and Suryat Vayuhu, Agnihi, Suryat. So all the Agni, Vayu, all these things have come from Surya. Therefore, if you just take his name, Sakala Veda Parayana Punyam Bhavati anta heltare. So that's how, and Surya, and again we have got Sarvaha Surya Adivi. So there are Surya. How many Suryas are there? Ashtau Surya, Divamanu Pravishta. You know that. Arogo Bhraja Patara Patanga, Swarnaro Jyotishiman, Vibhasaha, Te Asmai Sarve Divamatapanti. Now what I will call it, our lesson is there. So Surya Bhagavan Ilidane is there in the Divi and the heavens. And Chandra is in the quarters, Nakshatras in their own respective lokas. Because every Nakshatra has got his own compartment. So Nakshatra Lokagala Matrane, Surya Bhagavan is overall supervisor of all the Nakshatra. So Chandra is Nakshatra Adhipati, Surya is Grahadipati. Grahanam Adhipati Surya, Nakshatranam Adhipati Chandra. So Chandrama, because Chandra is there, is illumination or brilliance is there in all quarters. Chandrama Dikshu. And Kanake in heltare, Eva hi Eva, Eva hi Agne, Eva hi Vayo, Eva hi Indra, Eva hi Pushan, Eva hi Devaha. So we are giving that this is how there is no thing that sun, O Agni, O Vayu, O Indra, O Pushan, O gods, you are all the desires of devotees to be basically obtained by virtue of prayer and worship. So these are all the important selected gods among the gods, groups of gods, so that you can have your desires and smooth life upon this earth. Who are those again? See, Agni, Vayu, Indra, and Pushan. Just now I gave you one sloka. how Pushan is connected to our health care and body care. And therefore, Pushan also is a god in charge of the teeth, bones. Therefore, when you sustain Pusha andre, the Pushan Devata, Surya Bhagavan will give you health of that. So like that, in fact, we have been missing the Aruna Prashna classes for the past 2 or 3 sessions. And really, we are lucky that today we have got class on Aruna Prashna. Tomorrow, that is Sunday morning, you can all worship the Paramatma Surya Bhagavan. It's a Surya day. It's a heyday for Surya Bhagavan, and there are so many festivals being done or pujas done on that day. So with this word, we'll continue next. With these things, I stop today's session. Thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Surya Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Sahana Vavatu. Please repeat Sahana Vavatu.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahe Tejasvina